Marcus Speaks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Marcus Speaks. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus, and today's topic basically is like a reflection. It's basically like, so we all know that it's almost time for the quarantine to be lifted, and we'll just be going on with our daily lives. So what I wanted to speak about today is more so it's me asking everyone, do they have anything that they've been reflecting on since this quarantine has been going on, such as like do you guys at all, like, have you been thinking at all about like what all of this means, like how you should be feeling right now? Like, are you your better self now since you've had time to buckle down and not do anything? And like, have you been able to like just sit and focus on just one thing that you got going on, or has it just been just the same? Have you not changed at all? So I want to go through like a few questions, and I want to expound on it, on how we can, or how you guys can, or how, if this ever happens again, where you should be at, like where your mindset should be. So the first question today is, who are you? So what you should be asking yourself with that question is not only who am I, but who have I become? Who have I who am I as a person? You know, you've had 2 months just to chill out, unless you're like a essential worker. Like, if you've been in the house these past 2 months, and you know you've just been sitting back and reflecting on, like, you know, where am I gonna get, you know, my next check? Where am I gonna get, you know, food for my kids, if you have kids? Like, what can I do to try to make myself more available to get things done? Like, can I take on some side work? You know, who am I as a person? Like, has my attitude changed? Like, you should be thinking about all of these things before, you know, we get back and get things back, you know, going and stuff, because it's important, because you can see kind of how the country is going right now and where it may be within the next couple months. Like, you know, summer's coming up, so, you know, we want to go out, have fun. We haven't had fun in a while. You know, we haven't been able to have fun. So what is it that we can do to, I would say, like, get it back to where it was? But should we get it back to where it was? Like, was where we were at, you know, okay? Was it fine? Is it something that we can improve? Or is it that we don't want to change anything, and we just want to keep stuff the way that it is? Or should we change it? Should be the best question. So, so you're sitting back, you're reflecting, and you're thinking to yourself, like, who am I? That's number one. Number two, who have I become? Like, you really should have some sort of answer to that. You really should know by now, and really, like, who you are as a person, because it's just like you've had time to do this stuff. So, just reflect on who you should be when coming out of this, and being amongst people. Because at the end of the day, that's important. Because let's be honest, most of us that's actually listen to the band, we haven't had any human contact if we're not living with anybody, but we haven't had like other human contact for the past 2 months. Or if you're an essential worker and you work in certain industries that allow you to work, then such as like grocery stores and medical manufacturing plants and food farms and stuff like that. Other than that, if you don't work in those industries and you have been cooped up in the house, and the only interaction you have with people is going out to stores that you're able to go to, and you see them in masks and stuff. So if like you want to be able to circumvent like where you should be by now. So my next question is, how have you changed, if you have changed at all? Has anything changed about you? Has something that you've been thinking about, that have you pursued it at all since you've had the time off? Have you been able to try to think of things of how you can determine on how you deal with stuff such as in your personal life? Or is it that you can or are you thinking about, can you change somebody else's life somehow? So you can try to think of things that you can change about yourself during a time like this, because for what we know, they was giving us updates every 15 days of if they're opening the country or if they're going to leave us in quarantine. But we don't know. Like, maybe the next 15 days they might tell us that we might we've made a mistake, we're gonna keep the quarantine going for another 2 months, and we could be doing this for the next year, or until the second wave of this coronavirus happens. Because if it's just like the flu, when it comes every year, then and we won't have the vaccines until next year. So like, what can we do? What I mean? So what can you change in your life? Just by understanding like what it attacks, like the virus itself. So maybe you've been overweight. Maybe you've changed your life by going out for a walk and doing some in-house workouts. Maybe you've changed doing that to try to better yourself. Maybe you've been eating cleaner. Maybe you've changed your diet. Maybe you've changed a certain way that you do things. This is all stuff that you should be, thinking about right now. So as you go back into, the real world and things go back to normal or whatever normal is going to be after this, maybe that's something that you should be thinking about also. So, next question is, are you the same person? Have you not changed anything about yourself? Have you thought about, I've had time to just chill out, do me, and not have to worry about anything, so I'm cool. I'm just gonna chill out. I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing and keep it pushing. Maybe that's who you are as a person. So if that's who you think you are as a person, then maybe that's what you also should be trying to figure out if you just want to stay the same person that you are. There's nothing wrong with how you are, how you act, what you do, stuff like that. So when this quarantine ends, what are your goals? What are your next move? What's your next move that you're going to do? Maybe maybe you should be trying to think about like ventures that you want to get into. Maybe you've wanted to do a YouTube channel, you didn't have the time with your regular life. So during the quarantine, you thought, well, hey, I got time. Maybe I can do, see how this whole YouTube thing starts. Maybe you want to be some sort of, social media influencer. So you took to that. Like, there's been a lot of stuff, a lot of social media going on. That's really all that we have to really entertain ourselves because, such as actors being out of work. So they're basically showing either movies on television or reruns or episodes that was pre-recorded before the whole quarantine started. So we have new episodes of certain shows to watch, but it's not going to last that long. Like, you got to think, like, when you're watching a season of a show, usually within a season is 13 episodes, so that's 13 weeks. And now how they're doing it, they show either the first episode is a full hour or they show the two first episodes, and maybe those two episodes count as the pilot episodes, or it's two separate episodes. So either they're doing a 12-week run or a 13-week run. So a 13-week run is like 2.5 months. We've been in this quarantine almost 2 months. So, Trump wants to open the country back up by May 1st, and it's by each state's own discretion on how they want to open the country up. So, as we all know, Georgia is opening their state up, but it's only to certain businesses, so they can get themselves replenished. But if they're a small business, they should have gotten the PPP to get their staff paid, their pay the bills of the company or the business so they can keep afloat. But what is the next move that you want to make? Like, is there something that you want to experience that you probably wasn't able to experience during your regular life before all of the madness started? And maybe it's something that you want to pursue that you got excited about during this quarantine. So that's something that y'all should be really thinking about. am I living up to my full potential, and has the quarantine showed that I wasn't living up to my full potential? So what's your next move after that? So the next question is, well, it's really a statement, but this is, like I said, this is a perfect time after this whole quarantine ends, is to start some sort of a small business. Like, if you cater, if you do some sort of design, you make buttons, something that you do, some talent that you've always had, that you always did for friends, and you never really thought about, opening up a small business of your own, making a little side money, just doing a little side hustle. But now's the time. Now's the time if you think about it, you got the capital with your 1,200 stimulus, or if you're a family, if you're a husband and wife, you get 2,400, and let's say you have kids, you get 500 for each child. So that's enough money to get your limited liability certification, which costs like $100. So that's $100 spent right there. To create an account for the business, so you have some sort of account for the business you want to start, so you can put all the money that, maybe you want to empty your savings out, put it into the business, and whatever it is that you want to do, now's the time to open up some sort of small business. See what I'm doing now, like just my videos alone, I can consider this a small business of mine. And I would like to give a small shout out to the fitness company that has hit me up about being like some sort of ambassador for their company to promote their product on my channel, which I would love to do, but the only thing I have to do, the next step that I really have to do, is buy a product, use it, see if I like it or not, give a review, and then, I get some sort of kickback from that, and, that's a business. This is a business that I can start after this whole thing. Well, I can start it now, but there's certain rules and regulations here on YouTube that you have to meet before becoming a YouTube partner. So I have a long ways to go until I become a YouTube partner. So the next thing I want to talk about, which is sort of a statement too, and I said this on my last video, with this stimulus money, you should be investing at least half of it, if not, a quarter amount of this money. You should be linking up with an investor that you may trust. Maybe you have a company, maybe you have a 401k, and you like how your 401k looks, so you can maybe link up with your job and be like, hey, I want to talk to, or maybe you have all this information already. You can get all the information you can, call up, either Fidelity or whomever who does investment planning, and maybe you can link up with them, see what's your best options for making an investment plan on something for your future. Because maybe you're not thinking about just yourself. Maybe you're thinking about like your children and your your grandchildren, maybe, or maybe just thinking about like a family member that you can just leave a little bit of money to, or maybe you want to buy a house and stuff like that. Like whatever it is you want to do, now's the time to invest some money. Because really, since this whole quarantine's been happening, stocks have been very low, so they're selling them really next to nothing. And really now is the time to buy stock because it's at such a low point. You can get in, you can buy as many shares as you can, as much as you want to spend, and then when the stock market goes back up, you'll start seeing returns in the investment that you make, that you made. So, like right now is really the time to invest, some money into either your future, maybe your children's college or something like that. It's something that you can do. It's something to really think about too. To invest in, just whatever it is that you want to invest in. All right. So, the next question is why you should reflect on what you did during the quarantine. So, let's say on a day-to-day you really don't do anything. Maybe you just sit in the house, watch a movie. You should be reflecting on that because maybe you wasted time watching either movies, television, stuff like that. Really now is the time to really be like reading every article that you can that deals with all of this. Get yourself educated. Maybe educate yourself, like I said, in investing in investments. Like you should be reading stuff that has to do with psychology and how to better yourself and stuff like that. Like now was the time, y'all. Like right now was really the time to do all of this. And maybe some people thought that this was like some time off from work, and maybe they just want to just hang out for a while and stuff like that. So with this article that I have in front of me, it's from the Fortune magazine. It states that prior to this 5-week stretch of 26.5 million initial jobless claims, there were already 7.1 million unemployed Americans. As of March 13th, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, when the figures are combined, it would equal more than 33 million unemployed, or a real unemployment rate of 20.6%, which would be the highest level since 1934. So the weekly initial unemployment claims, which is like a chart that I'm looking at right now, and I'll throw this up on the green screen as I'm reading. And it says underneath of what I just read, it says the official unemployment rate from the BLS is 4.4%, but the calculation is through March 13th. That was before the massive wave of stay-at-home orders. The April rate, which gets released in early May, is when we'll see the unemployment rate the top double digits. We're already seeing states fiscally and technically overwhelmed by the continued flood of jobless claims. Many states, including Texas, are about to run out of unemployment trust funds and will need to borrow from the federal government. On Tuesday, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said his state's unemployment site has collapsed following the spike in online claims. The out of work who gets approved to collect unemployment benefits will be eligible for an additional $600 in weekly payments. This money, which is on top of their state's benefits, stems from the $2.2 trillion stimulus package. It runs through July 13th. And one thing that they're trying to pass, which I feel as though would help certain Americans, is the emergency money. I forgot what that bill that they're trying to pass, but basically anyone ages, I think 16, if not 17 and up, gets a $2,000 check every month, or like the stimulus. If you did direct deposit, it direct deposits into your account every month. And so the $200 that the $2,000 that they're trying to give, I'm guessing that's for it's I guess for upkeep, like bills, food, clothing, stuff like that. And I feel as though as a teenager, in the late teens, like if you're getting this money or whatever, $2,000 a month, I think is going to last for like 6 months. Now's really the time for the parents to talk to their children about how they should spend the money and what to spend the money on. So I know most people may be like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna buy some clothes and some shoes. I'm gonna look fresh. Plus, I'm getting a $2,000 check every month. There ain't no point for me to try to hold on to it. No, you should be wanting to hold on to that money. And I say that because if you're getting a $2,000 check a month, you're getting it for 6 months. That's $12,000 right there that you could be saving, and you could be saving that towards something, or you could be trying to invest that into something, or maybe you could be trying to make something of it. Like maybe you want to move into an apartment, or a townhouse, or maybe a house. That would be good capital to have for this type of situations. And we all know how bad like rent is right now. Like the average rent in America is like $1,500 a month, which is fucking outrageous. And but that's the average rent of America. So that's really all I have for y'all today. I'll try to I probably might make like a part 2 to this, maybe, not sure, but thanks for watching, and I want you guys to bear with me with this video because I'm using a new video editing software. So if this video doesn't come out like all my other videos came out, then I'm sorry. But thanks for watching, and I talk to y'all on the next one. Peace. So, if you're a newcomer to this channel, please like, comment, and share this video. Don't be afraid to subscribe too. If you're already a part of the channel, please share the video content on this channel. If you want to know any of my social media information, I'll show them on the screen right now. You know my motto, I'm trying to save one relationship at a time and one mind at a time.